open, we're going to have Jessica coming out. First, she gets the strut bag, which is an 8-foot-long bag, and then she gets the cable bag. Then Chris comes out. After they're both outside, Jessica will be the first one that will start translation to the P4 area where the mud kit is located. So you'll see it here in the animation. She starts moving through the truss all the way down to the mud kit. At the same time, Chris is going to do a quick stop, get a Wifix, which is an equipment that will give him more distance once he gets into the foot restraint, so he can reach to the mud kit itself. Once they get there, they're going to cinch down the bags, and then they begin the installation. So they start with the mid strut, and then Jessica gets the other side, the left mid strut and the lower strut, hands it to Chris, who's already on the foot restraint. Then Jessica goes around, and Chris will then be turned so that he can be facing on the other side of the canister, where he will start now working with Jessica to put the mid struts themselves. Okay, so here's where they bolt the second mid strut. And after that, the whole assembly of the mud kit is now completed with the cables that will be required for later on. After that's completed, Jessica is going to go down on one side of the area where they were, put the DDCU jumpers, while Chris is moving now to the race ring, as I mentioned before, to take a snapshot of the current state. So here he goes. He takes a few pictures for us to understand the state. And then he comes back. Once he comes back to the same location where we had cinched down the 2 bags, he will begin now the torque reset. So open the cable bag, get the tool that he needs, and then he begins the torque resets for several of the boxes that you see here. Once that is completed, Chris is coming back to the airlock where he starts doing the microorganisms. You can see that he has the canisters on his side. He brings in the tool, he does the swabbing, and then he puts it back into the tool. At the moment he puts it on the tool, he locks in the sample, and so he goes for the next sample. There's 7 samples that we're gonna go do. The minimum number for our activity this go around is 5 samples. So in this specific view, you will see him going back inside the airlock to do 2 of the swaps that he has on his SCU. In the meantime, Jessica now has made it to a location on the truss where the robotic arm gets closer to her. She puts the cover on the camera itself for the robotic arm, and then the robotic arm moves out of the way, and she makes it back to the airlock. And here you see Jessica putting the cable back inside, and then back inside the airlock for the end of our EVA. And that will conclude EVA 94.